Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we're here back inside F124 with another wheel settings guide. Yes, some of you might remember, obviously we did one of these at the start of the game, but a couple of days ago I was finally able to unbox my new Logitech G.Pro wheel, very kindly sent over by Logitech. If you missed out on that video, go back, check it out. It was quite a fun little casual one. But yeah, I've basically since then have spent quite a few hours trying to fine-tune and tweak my settings inside F124 ready for this wheel. Now, of course, I mentioned in that video, but as of Monday in our driver career mode inside F124, this is going to be the steering wheel we're going to be using. So once again, a massive thank you to Logitech for sending this out. This video isn't sponsored or anything like that. I just wanted to make a video with our sort of wheel settings because maybe you guys are considering picking up the Logitech G.Pro as well, and you're going to be a little bit lost because it is very different to set up to any of the wheels that I've used before. Now, of course, obviously, these are just settings that work for me. Everyone likes different kind of feeling inside their wheel as well. But yeah, like I said, I was quite surprised by just how different I've had to fine-tune this in comparison to my other previous steering wheel as well there. So if we immediately head over into the settings tab then, and you can see if we head over to, where are we going? Sorry, we are looking at controls, vibration, and force feedback. And then as you can see, obviously we've got the all new settings there, Logitech 1. So we've got the pedals and the wheel set up properly. For some reason, I've plugged them in. It says they're Fanatec. I don't really know what that... I think it's because I've got my Fanatec pedals plugged in as well somewhere. It's picking up those ones instead. But yeah, the Logitech pedals, they're fantastic so far. I'll make a full video with it in the near future. But yeah, I don't know why it's showing up with my other pedals rather than these ones. Because I'm certainly using these ones and having a lot of fun with them as well there. So if we head into that and we head over to edit, of course, you are met with all of your options inside the game. Of course, you know, your braking, your clutch, everything like that as normal. Your steering, everything like that. I've left most of it pretty standard because this is a PlayStation compatible wheel, so it actually recognizes all the buttons properly, which I've never had with a wheel before, which is very useful, because usually when I have to press buttons in game, it just says button 11, and I don't know what button 11 is. So yeah, straight out of the box, this wheel actually very well supported inside F124. So you can see all of my kind of standard control options there. Nothing too surprising. Pretty much all of them are exactly how it would be if you got your wheel out of the box as well, if you have picked up one of these as well there. But the big point, of course, is the calibration and the vibration and force feedback. So first of all, calibration, fairly simple. I've left everything as standard. Again, out of the box, it comes very well set up. The only thing I have changed slightly is the brake linearity. I found these pedals to be very firm in the initial kind of phase. So what I've done, of course, is just made the final 90% of the pedal a bit more sensitive. That means, obviously, if I just press a little bit, I get a bit more precision in what the pedal is doing, so you know I'm not going to try and slam my foot through it or anything like that. But apart from that, the steering rate's set to 100%. Of course, we'll have a look inside the Logitech setup as well there as to how the wheel is obviously looking inside the game. But of course, the big one is the vibration and the force feedback. Now, unlike my old wheel, which only went up to 8 Newton meters, this one goes all the way to 11. So it is a little bit, you know, it can be a bit firmer, a bit more aggressive, you know, trying to fight against me through the corners. But I'm still running 110% force feedback. I just find the F1 games to be very low on them. So yeah, that was obviously just so you know, we are having to try and kind of fight the car. I like it when a car kind of pulls against me. You know, it always wants to straighten up. That's basically what I've had to tweak a lot of these settings to do. So you can see the on-track effects we have got set to 50, completely standard. I tried as low as like 10. I tried as high as 90. Just, yeah, the standard ones felt really good. The rumble strip effect, obviously on this game, I run it really low. You can normally get a good feeling of what's going on through the curbs on this game with what you can see. So, you know, you don't really want to go over a curb or go near a curb because they're very important on this game. And, you know, your wheel just be shaking underneath you. Off-track effects I've got set to 30. You do get a bit less feel inside F124 than previous games with that one. And this is the one I'm really looking forward to trying out a bit more, is going to be the pit stop effect. So this is only for controllers and this wheel and a couple of the other Logitech ones that they do. So you'll actually feel it as like the car obviously gets lifted up on the jacks and obviously dropped again onto the circuit. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to obviously showcase that in some career mode videos as well. And the wheel damper, last but not least, is also set to 50. On my old wheel, I actually ran this really, really low, but 50 actually seems to make the car kind of stay a bit more central in the straight line. The one thing I was really struggling to fine-tune with it was actually just the tiny little movements on a straight. I kind of found that it would kind of tweak slightly and it would veer off to the right or veer off to the left. So that's obviously what I fixed there. And the maximum wheel rotation I've got set to 400. 400, again, seems to be the sweet spot inside F124. So that's what works for me inside the game. Last but not least, of course, we will head over into the proper Logitech software as well. And we'll just run through. There's a few settings that you can tweak and change in there also. So having a look then, this might be the first time you've ever seen the Logitech Pro software. Don't do what I did initially and accidentally install the old 2010 software for the original Logitech wheel. I don't know how I managed it. Funnily enough, this wouldn't get recognised when I tried to boot it up, and it gave me a headache for about 15 minutes before I realised that the last update came. I think it was in March 2010. It worries me that that's almost 15 years ago now. But sensitivity then, I've got set to 50 inside this wheel. The operating range angle, exactly the same as inside the game. It's set to 400. The dampener, I tweaked this around quite a lot. It really did have a very, very big effect on kind of what was going on inside the game. So 34 was the sweet spot for me. I would have thought, though, a lot of you guys will probably want it lower than I run, because just generally the feedback you guys give me about kind of my angles that I run on this game, a lot of people dislike for some reason. The strength I've got completely maxed out. It's actually a very, very smooth wheel. It kind of feels very well designed to handle the 11 Newton meters. You wonder kind of whether it could have gone up to like 15, because yeah, it's very, very smooth. It's very, very quiet. You don't sort of get a lot of the chatter that I've experienced with previous wheels as well. And I've also enabled the auto force feedback filter as well. And we've even got the true force settings, which utilizes the actual physics engine in supported games as well there. So it's going to be good fun. Obviously, we're going to be trying out in lots of videos in the not too distant future. The dual clutch paddles as well. You can see, obviously, you can set those up. I haven't, but they are very, very cool. As you can just see, obviously, you can try and filter one of them or have one of them on, one of them off, and then obviously drop one immediately and then drop the other as well there. Obviously, you don't really need that inside F124. I've never found, whenever I've tried to map the clutches inside F124, that it works very well. So it's just not one that I would worry about doing. But once again, a massive thank you to Logitech for sending out all this stuff. I promise next week we are going to be getting back into the normal videos, but they have really done me a solid sending out this wheel and pedal setup. As always, of course, there will be links down in the description below if you're interested in picking up one for yourself. Like I said, I'm going to make some videos with it and then do a full review in the not too distant future. But yeah, that's going to do us for this one, and we'll be back very soon with more F124 content.